Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, July the 6th. This is Anne Marie, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We are looking at SPY first. We're going to run through quite a few today. We can see that we're on a fade on the daily, right? This is a double topping formation that happened a couple of days ago. I'll also show you something from my Thinkorswim platform that really also gave me a little bit of a clue that we were going to have this weakness, but you know my premise is that we chop sideways for a bit. Whenever price action gives us this kind of heat and we stall out, we're going to move quickly in another direction. But before the breakout and the move, we're going to digest, right? And so some people might call this the area of distribution after holding the price action. I don't go with all the fancy words. I'm just looking at price. Up, down, sideways. That's all I care about. Okay? So what are we looking at here? Two candles to the left. Lower high, lower high, lower high, and lower low, lower low, lower low. We are retracing. They're trying to find the bid. So where is it? Well, here's some heavy congestion, right? We'll look at the closes of these candlestick formations nearby. 438.65 looks like the fade. Is it today? I have no idea. Could it be a sharp down because we've got so much news coming? We've got international trade, jobless claims, PMI, ISM, EIA, PMI, ISM, 10 o'clock, but 8:30, which will be here in 4 minutes. So we'll probably be together when this chart gets the news. So this is what we're looking at. They're trying to find a bid. Shorting, hey, listen, if it bounces and it cannot get up over 441 and some change, the open of the tick or the low of the prior day, you've got yourself shorting action and your stop can be fairly tight. Do not let this chart get away from you, okay? Look for the regions they're going to congest and then wait there for them to say, hey, I'm rolling over. How does that look? Listen, if you're on a daily, it's going to look like this, right? So the edge for the first trade was in the overnight here at the loss of 442, 443. If you're looking at it from a 5-minute, it's all going to look exactly the same, right? There's a bid somewhere down here. You can see this. These are traders, but lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, test of the old high, lower low, inside candlestick formation, and it can't get back to the top of 440. So here's what you can look at. When is the last congestion edge? It's right up here, 441.34, all the way to 441.75. Any kind of bounce, it's going to be trapped sellers that have to get out, okay? So look for the rotation. Remember, fails to head lower, bounces above resistance, pulls back, and holds a higher low. Now, could the bounce above resistance be all the way here, all the way here, or all the way here based on news? You betcha. Wait until it tells you what it's going to do. The market is 24-hour buffet. You don't need to rush in and pick up a green bean and jelly sandwich, okay? Wait for something that's actually going to be good. Let's take a look at the Qs. Yes, Qs. Okay, Qs. Let's see. Qs fading. You guys know, I think we're going to be in a sideways channel. We had the double topping action yesterday for the shorting formation in continuation today, right? Not only were they not able to hold the close when they tested it in the overnight, they're coming down here to the low of the prior day. Now, who's going to show up in there? Buyers. Of course. Buyers are going to show up at the lows because they're looking for value, okay? Do they have enough strength to stay there? I don't know. That's where you go to that 5-minute chart and you watch for your bottoming formation. Fails to head lower, bounces into resistance, pulls back, holds a higher low. Does that mean you don't pick the bottom? Yeah, most of the time. Most of the time, you're not the hero picking the bottom, but I can tell you, I've tried to pick the bottom a lot of times, and I've had my fingers and face absolutely shredded. All right, let's take a look at oil. We have an OPEC meeting of sorts. It's not the general OPEC Vienna boondoggle. It's some other thing going on. And right now, it's been lifting until just a few moments ago. But where did it stop? And this is what I've been talking about. I believe that oil is going to stay range-bound until we get more definitive work out there about demand. Right? They're trying to pull supply off. They're very upset that prices remain down, and they're going to try and curb supply. But I heard a very interesting podcast that suggested that Russia and Russia and the Saudis will eventually get into a pricing war over oil because of demand destruction. So I don't know. All I know is I'm range bound, and so being range bound means that we buy at the bottom, we sell at the top, and I believe the traders who are spending a lot of big money is now hedging oil very negatively. We'll see what happens there, right? Big money doesn't mean it's always right, but that's what they're doing. And so we are going to have a clip on the top here for it not to break to the north. So I would say, hey, listen, if you're up here, it's probably a good place to sell the bounces and take profit when it gets to that 69 area and trail it down until it gets back into 65, 64, maybe even lower. Let's take a look at gold. A lot of currency stuff going on right now. As you know, if you listen to me every day, I have been saying that I think gold is going to hit the skids and continue downward into this path here. It just moved up very, very quickly and very speculatively. And now as the broad market is settling in and the DXY seems to be holding a zone, oil is going to sell off, particularly as Bitcoin is holding oil. Gold is going to sell off, particularly as Bitcoin is holding its levels, right? That's the other place that people are hedging this environment with. So what are we looking at? Every bounce is a sell zone. I know it looks like it might be a buy, but it's a sell. Here's the big difference. What's it doing? Fail to head lower, bounces to resistance, pulls back. Is it going to give us a higher low for now? Well, 1900s is a nice round number, but I don't know. I do not believe so. So I will continue to sell the bounces. I'm not going to sell the floor here because buyers showed up here. But if it loses the floor and it bounces and cannot recapture it, I am headlong into another short with gold. All right. Anything else we want to cover here? Yeah, let's take a look at RTY. RTY, not RYTY, RTY. Take a look at RTY. This is the formation I believe we're going to have. This one's the easiest one for me to trade, really, in terms of this sideways motion. It's super predictable, but that is what is happening here. And the fade, here's where it's coming into, regions of support. Everybody's coming into these support zones. Did they just release jobless claims? Yeah. So everybody's coming into these support zones. We just have to see. We've had a pervasive bid. I don't expect it to go away, but we should see bounces that fail. All right, last, let me go peek back at the ES, see what that job numbers did. It's pulling us down just like we expect, right? Buyers are going to try every dip, 44.50, kind of a big round number. Expect that they come in on the round numbers to try to hold the floors, okay? But let big money do that, or bigger money than you, and just look at the smaller formations and say, okay, I see that they're trying to pick the bottom, but what is this telling me? That my bounces are going to fail at this junction. Okay? All right, everyone, take care, and I will see you all tomorrow.